What's up, guys? I'm back. I'm Nightmare 10 as always, and I'm here this time with my TNA Victory Road fantasy booking. You guys seen my? If you haven't seen it, check out my channel, and it'll be about 5 or 6 videos down. Check out TNA Slammiversary fantasy booking. I'll be basing this video off of that and this card, so check that out. Hope you guys enjoyed that. That one was kind of rough. I'm trying to get back into it. Trying to get this thing going. Maybe you guys can, latch on and actually like it, and you can see the people you like in TNA actually be used well. So there you have that. That's the main reason why I'm even doing it in the first place. But why waste time? Like I said, check it out if you didn't know, and I will reference some things from that. So haven't watched that, might want to pause this one and go watch that one. Anyway, so to start off the show, we're gonna have the #1 contenders match for the X-Division Championship. This is going to be a 4-way elimination match. The last pay-per-view we had a 4-way to open up the pay-per-view again. I feel like repetition is kind of a good thing in a certain extent, especially with the X-Division. I feel like if you get a lot of the guys going, you get the people used to the X-Division and the matches that they have. People get into it more, so that's just me. I don't know if I'm totally true, but this will have Jay Lethal versus Doug Williams versus Amazing Red versus Brian Kendrick. You see 2 people from the last match, and then you see Doug Williams, who lost the title match last pay-per-view. And then you see Jay Lethal. The reason Jay Lethal is in this, after losing to Joe, he feels like he needs to go back to his roots. He goes to TNA management, whoever you have up in the the on-TV role, I guess Bischoff or Hogan. It says, give me a shot at the title, blah, blah. I think, he can win an open and a qualifying match or something like that to make sure that he can prove himself against Homicide or something like that, or maybe Suicide if you still have him. So Lethal's in this, and I'm actually going to have Lethal win this. Kind of have Doug Williams and him going at it a lot in this as well. Just have Red and Kendrick do what they do best, and they'll get their time in the future. But have Lethal win this, and maybe have Doug Williams do something in the future as well. Haven't thought that far quite yet. So Lethal wins. Then we have the TNA Knockout Championship match. If you don't remember last pay-per-view, Angelina Love came out and beat up both Roxxi and Madison Rayne, so that led to Angelina Love versus Roxxi versus Madison Rayne. And what happens in this match, just to keep it short or whatever, Madison Rayne Madison Rayne is actually double teamed by Angelina Love and Roxxi a lot of the way through the match. So you kind of feel like it's a double team face versus the one heel. Then towards the end of the match or whatever, you see the closing end of it. Angelina Love's trying to get trying to get Madison Rayne, and all of a sudden turns and hits Roxxi. Madison Rayne lets her pin Roxxi. I know this sounds retarded, or that part of it, but lets her pin Roxxi. 1, 2, 3. You're new TNA Knockouts champion, Angelina Love. The rest of the beautiful people come out. They all, cheer or whatever. Then you get that little weird look from Lacey, and Angelina Love kind of looks at her funny as well. But other than that, they celebrate in the ring, and Madison Rayne pretty much just kind of gave her title essentially to Angelina to regain the true beautiful people. So they're back together. Roxxi gets screwed. Roxxi is still in my company as far as TNA, so we'll see where this goes after that. But new Knockouts champion Angelina Love. Then we have Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles. Kurt Angle goes to AJ Styles and says, basically, you're the next guy. You have no choice. You're going to face me at Victory Road, and whether you like it or not. Of course, AJ's like, no, this isn't going to happen, blah, blah, blah. Ric Flair goes nuts. A couple good segments with them. This leads to this, and Kurt Angle wins a tough match with AJ Styles. Then we have a TNA X-Division Championship. Obviously, from last pay-per-view, Shannon Moore won the #1 contenders match. He faces Kaz. Kaz will still win this match. That's about it, pretty much. Kaz is going to win. Then we have the guy, by the way, the top 5 in the rankings this week are the same as last week that I had, except for number 5 is now Samoa Joe. So number 1 is Desmond Wolfe, 2 is Jeff Hardy, 3 is Anderson, 4 is AJ, and 5 is now Samoa Joe because of the win, and Sting is taking some time off. Yeah, I know. I'm trying everything I can to make TNA good makes sense too. But hey, so this gives your number 2 guy, your number 3 guy, basically trying to figure out who the next number one contender is. I don't know if you necessarily have to build this to make it where it has to be, the winner is the number 1 contender for the world title, but this is what this is basically. Anderson is still heel, by the way, and but Jeff Hardy gets the win over Anderson as a face. Anderson tries to cheat a lot, but doesn't work. Jeff Hardy gets the win. Then we have TNA World Tag Team Championship match. Beer Money wins a number 1 contenders match against a couple of tag teams. Generation Me, maybe Team 3D. You can throw a bunch of them in there or something like that and have a pretty big match on Impact. Or you can spread it out through a couple of Impacts. But bottom line, Beer Money wins. They face the Motor City Machine Guns. Beer Money actually gets themselves disqualified. This will lead to another match between these two. I just feel like these are the best 2 teams. They need to go at it for a couple times. And maybe switch belts between them a couple times as well, maybe to show that it's a tough battle between the two. So good rivalry going between these guys. Then we have match number 2 between Hernandez and Matt Morgan. This one's going to be a no DQ match. Basically, Matt Morgan cheated to win last time, so Hernandez wants to make sure that there's no way he can cheat. Everything will be legal. Basically, they go back and forth. Hernandez finally gets revenge on Matt Morgan. He'll get the win. But then afterwards, out comes Samoa Joe. You don't know what he's going to do. And before I get into this, just to let you know what happened throughout the weeks leading up to this pay-per-view, Samoa Joe basically came out during every top contender, main event guys match pretty much. Anytime Hernandez and Matt Morgan were at it, you kind of saw Joe, Desmond Wolfe, Rob Van Dam, Jeff Hardy, Angle, all of those guys. You saw Joe kind of just in the background, check, the pacing, or he'd come out in the crowd or something like that. And the announcers would be like, "What? Don't play up to it too much, and don't let him cost somebody a match, so that that doesn't start a storyline or anything like that." Just kind of let him, just be like, a predator, searching his prey. Who is Joe going to strike next? So that kind of thing, kind of like it. So he comes out, he kind of grabs a mic and be like, "I don't know why you guys are all friends all of a sudden." I don't know if I mentioned this. Sometimes I forget. After Hernandez actually won, they shook hands and were looking like they were about to be back together. But out came Joe. So then Joe, and I'm sorry if I don't explain myself better. Just ask me if you know how I am. But Hernandez and Morgan then get attacked by Joe because Joe says that hey, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to win, and to only win at all costs. Not make friends. Whatever. I'm explaining this terrible. Anyways, hopefully you guys can see. This might end up being too long because I'm rambling, but so yeah, then you have them do that. He attacks Morgan, and Hernandez leaves them both in the ring, motionless, or whatever. And Joe walks out. So questionable or whatever. But then you have that ending, but yet you still had the match end in a finish. So you didn't have a screw job. You just had someone come out after the match. I like that a lot better than what TNA usually does. Then we have the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, number 1 contender, according to the fans. Fans are getting what they want. Desmond Wolfe versus Rob Van Dam. This is going to be, I hope, an epic match between these two. Rob Van Dam and Desmond Wolfe make each other look great. And then Desmond Wolfe does not get the win this time. Comes up short. He is heel, but he tries heelish things, but he doesn't do like too many pins, kind of like a heel. But he does, he tries to cheat every once in a while, but not too much. That takes away from him. But Rob Van Dam gets the win, and this may lead to a future match. We'll see. You'll see at the next pay-per-view, which I'm not even sure what it is. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, check the card. Hopefully, you guys understand what I was trying to get out here. If you have any questions, always leave a comment, message, anything, video response. I don't really care. Hope you guys liked it, and check back for the next one. Peace.